What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, reviewing today the Halo 5 beta. Now this has been out since last night for invite-only members, and it's been a long night of a lot of awesome kills. So let's delve into what's new, what's changed, and what's good about the Halo 5 beta. What you'll notice right off the bat is how much they've improved the speed of everything in the Halo 5 beta. It is a faster Halo than anything you've noticed before. People die faster, shields recharge faster, and everybody can sprint. One thing that I noticed right off the bat that I really loved was the fact that sprinting actually stops your shields from recharging. This is an interesting mechanic because no longer are people able to just run all over the map and do whatever. Instead, it makes it where there's this extra tactic. When you stop running and you crouch, you'll become invisible on the radar and your shields recharge faster. So there'll be times when you fire and kill a bunch of people and then you have to sprint to a spot and hide for a couple seconds. I like this a lot because it makes it where you can't just run from fight to fight. You can't just run and pick up a bunch of weapons. You have to be more tactical in your strategizing and placement on the map. In the beta, we actually have two maps to play on, Empire and Truth, and on it we're playing 4v4 Slayer matches. This is a nice team balance, but I did at times really feel how small these maps were. But obviously it's a beta, they gotta give us the smaller, more technical maps to work with. One thing that really sticks out to you is that 60 frames a second gameplay. Unfortunately, the way I render my video, it only caps out at 30 frames, but it was so liquid smooth. It was just surreal watching a body fly past me as an explosion goes off at 60 frames a second. You realize that this is so mandatory for incredibly lightning fast shooters like this. The power moves are very interesting. They make it where you can charge into people or do ground pounds. And the ground pound is very interesting because it kind of knocks out everybody's shields. If you charge straight into somebody, it knocks out their shields. They're very balanced and they make sense for the characters themselves. I was afraid when I saw that there were going to be power abilities, I was kind of picturing like Destiny. I was picturing Spartans throwing around energy balls, but it actually is really well balanced. One thing that is not well balanced is ground sliding. So they incorporated this kind of from games like Call of Duty, where when you're running you can slide into combat, but it lasts just a couple milliseconds too long and it kind of makes you a bullet sponge. You'll slide into combat and then just get shot to absolute pieces in seconds. There's just absolutely no point in doing it. They also tried to incorporate the aim down sights mechanic that exists in Call of Duty games. When you're playing Call of Duty games, typically one trigger is for aiming and one trigger is for shooting. You don't have to aim, but it increases your accuracy. But as a strange mechanic, aiming down this does not actually increase your accuracy, it just makes aiming a little easier on the player. It's completely optional and you can actually get knocked out of it. So if I'm aiming down the scope of a battle rifle, I'm actually having my screen partially obscured by having the crosshairs come up on my gun. I understand that they incorporated this to make the game a little more inviting to Call of Duty players, and I did enjoy it at times while sniping, but it still felt a little bit bizarre, and I see a lot of people very angry. They said that you're catering to a market that isn't really here for that. All of the guns have a much more interesting feel to them. Everything really hurts. It's fun to have a gun that shoots the crap out of people and can kill people in a couple shots. A headshot on somebody will kill them almost instantly. One shot to take out their shields, one shot to shoot them in the head. Although there's a strange absence of all blood. I have a strong feeling that they took all the blood out of the beta just to make it where they didn't have to worry about the ESRB trying to put a rating on the beta to make sure that it would be counted as E even though it would have a lot of violence in it. It's kind of weird looking and I'm hoping the actual Halo 5 does have blood because Halo that's this lightning fast but nobody's bleeding or there's no blood on the walls or floors when I send a perfectly aimed rocket just felt a little bizarre. There's also no vibration in the controls. The whole thing that's supposed to be real interesting about the Xbox One is haptic feedback. This makes it where when you're pulling the triggers, you'll feel a vibration of every gunshot, or you'll know when you're running out of ammo because the clip will start vibrating more like the gun itself is rattling. There was none of that, or when it did, it was very random. Some guns did it, some guns didn't. But it was really interesting, and I had a lot of fun with it. If I was going to give a rating to this beta on a scale scale of 1 to 10, I would give it an 8.75 out of 10. It's very interesting, and I am extremely happy. When I heard originally that 343 Industries was going to be taking over the Halo series, this is what we were hoping for. This is what Halo 4 should have been. Different, interesting, fresh, a new evolution of the Halo series. And I look forward to playing with all of you guys on December 29th when the open beta starts. This has been DreamcastGuy saying keep gaming, keep reading, and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.